Let's do a watercolor exercise that will help us calm our minds. I'm doing mine in a sketchbook, but I'm going to start by taping off the edges because I like when the edges are nice and crisp. Grab your watercolors and give them a good spritz. Something about lines are calling me today, but because we're trying to relax our brains, I want to make sure that I'm not too focused on making the lines perfect. I kind of want to move through colors as I do this, so I am going to clean out one of the wells in my palette. Then I'm going to put a little water in it so that I have a base for the color to mix. Wash my brush, and then I want to start with yellow, but you can start with whatever color you want. And I'm just going to alternate between putting my brush in the yellow and then into that water, mixing it in together. Then I'm going to fill my brush with a bunch of this because I want my line to stay pretty wet in case I want to modify it. Now, as I said, lines can be intimidating because you usually want them to be straight. We're going to take that away. So this very first line I make, I'm going to mess it up intentionally. So it doesn't have to be perfect. Now, because I made my line wet, I'm going to grab a different color and I'm going to drop it along one of the edges because I want there to be order in this, but also a little chaos because that's when my mind feels the most calm. That might be different for you. Then I'm going to modify my first color just a bit by dipping into another color, and then I'm going to mix it into that yellow solution so that it changes just slightly. Then I'm going to make a line below that first one, kind of following the path. It doesn't matter. It could be thinner, it could be thicker, however feels good to you. And while I'm putting these lines down, I'm trying to make sure I'm putting them down nice and wet because that enables me to drop other colors in it and allow some of that fun mixing to occur. I'm just going to keep repeating this down the page. Watercolor does have the potential to be used very precisely. However, the inherent nature of it is its unpredictability. And so when you're just trying to relax with a practice like this, starting with an intentional mistake will make every mistake that follows seem like it was part of the plan and allow you to really just get into the flow of the process. I finished all my lines and I want to take off the tape to reveal those crisp edges. But when removing tape, it's always best to make sure your painting is completely dry and also heat up the tape a little bit. It helps the tape come off easier. So it's time to make it dry. I love paintings like this because the process is simple and kind of meditative, but I also think that the result is really satisfying. If you need to let your brain relax, I highly recommend trying this.